Hello, everybody. Welcome out to episode 70 of the Pod of War Gamescast. I'm your host, EOF Gizmo, joined this week by Mass of Das, Chris Pengelly,
Hello, everyone.
and Mr. CW Lanky, Craig Warren.
Hello.
Hi, boys. It's been a few weeks since 69,
It's been a while.
which is a
Needed
statement.
some time to recover after that big monumentous episode.
I mean, 69 sometimes take a little time to recover from, Craig, so...
Exactly.
But a couple of weeks have gone, so we're going to talk about the games we've been playing, we're going to talk about games we picked up, we're going to talk about lots and lots of things. But before we get to that, a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, I am going to America for 2 weeks in a week's time. So if this isn't the last piece of Dave-related content for a while, I mean, I hope I make it back in time for Easter. And I make it back at all. If not, there might be an episode in the week. But anyway, get that out of the way in case people are literally worried that one of us has died when there isn't an episode for 3 weeks. I'm sure Pengy will be filling the channel with some stuff. And Craig, I'll give him the details. He will not do anything with it, but I'll give him the details anyway. Just in case he has a feeling in the middle of the night and he's like, you know what, I need to tell everyone my thoughts on Tetris. But before, Craig...
I fucking hate Tetris.
Man, it's because you're not very good at it, Craig.
It's just very true. It's very, very true.
You're a very simple man. But anyway, let's get on to the first part of the show, which is, of course, what we've been buying, what we've been playing, what we've been procuring. So, Craig, start us off. What have you been buying and playing in the last 2 weeks?
So on the Xbox, I've been playing more Monster Hunter Rise. I've done all of the 6-star quests now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I've unlocked the 7-star, and I've done a few 7s to the point where I've fought the like the main boss thing once, and I've now unlocked. Is it Hunter rank, Pengy? Is that what you unlock afterwards?
Yes.
So normally to progress in this game, you have to be like, all right, you've unlocked the 6-star quest. Now you've got to do 5 of them before you can progress to the 7-star quest. Now it's asking me to get to monster rank 20, I believe.
Yeah, Hunter rank is the next thing, and then after Hunter rank is Master rank, but that's not added to Sunbreak, so...
Yeah. So I've got to get to that. I don't really know how. I don't know if I just finished quests. I kind of skip the tutorial like you do. So I'm assuming, Pengy, I've just got to do quests, or do I have to
just
get
got to
that
do
gear?
more quests, and I think you get like another sort of boss and a little bit of a cutscene. But if you've done the big final boss in like... It's a bit, I don't really spoil this, but like in a bigger arena.
Again, no one cares about the story, Pengy.
Okay, well, the final boss in the big arena and that's like the last proper boss and the last proper cutscenes, and then you can get your Hunter rank to, I think it's like 999 or something like that if you wish to do that, and you can get special quests and harder monsters if you get it higher, and then you can get better gear and stuff from them and stuff. So if you want to go all the way to 999 and fight whatever that is, you can. But Sunbreak, when that comes, because I only had like Hunter rank like 10 or something like that. Then I started Sunbreak, and then they sort of counter like act each other. So it's like, oh, you've gone to Master rank 2, so that's also bumped your Hunter rank up as well.
So you should down again the end of the game, Pengy.
No, I've finished. Well, this is now just if you want like harder quests. There's no real story now. It's just if you want getting
I'm
harder
pretty sure you
quests.
get Apex like monsters and shit like that, don't you? It's just the same monsters but harder again.
Yeah, that's what it is now. So if you want even better gear, which I guess would help you in turn if you're going into Sunbreak.
Yeah. So I'll probably get to the necessary monster, the Hunter rank, of 20, and then do the final quest, and then probably leave it at that for a bit. And they have announced when Sunbreak's coming, haven't they? But I don't think I'm going to get it straight away because I played a lot of Monster Hunter. I feel like I think I said this to you, Chris, a while ago. I was hoping that it comes like late in the year. So it's like a bit of a break, and then you're like, oh, it's fresh up again. So I'll probably wait and then pick it up like on a sale or something.
With the Xbox PlayStation versions are a few updates behind always anyway, though. So I think by the time that all of the content is out, that will be the later in the year scenario, if that makes sense. because they
Yeah.
do these regular free updates, and I don't think the launch of Sunbreak is up to date. Chris, I
No,
might
the
be wrong.
launch of Sunbreak on Xbox and PlayStation like 1.3, but I think exactly the same time the Switch and PC are getting an update to like 1.5.
Yeah.
So I think Xbox and PlayStation are always going to be like 2 behind, most probably.
And there's a lot of
Unless they,
content
like,
in those updates as well, isn't there? I know there's like whole new characters and voice actors and stuff, and like new
yeah,
monsters and stuff,
yeah.
which is cool.
Endless.
I mean, Capcom are doing great at the minute, aren't they? Did we do an episode? Have we done an episode since the Capcom show?
I'm not sure.
But either way, Capcom are doing pretty good at the minute, aren't they? So, but what else have you been playing, Craigie?
Then nearly so from one endless game to another, playing more Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
God, we played a lot of that game, haven't we?
Yeah, which is what I'm sure me and Dave thought we'd be playing a lot of at the start of the year, right?
Right. We're going to obviously talk about it later because the main topic of this podcast is Xbox. But yeah, Jesus Christ.
I think we're slowly getting better, Davey. We've
I
hit
think
this
we've
weird
hit our
point at the
ceiling.
moment.
Me and you have hit our ceiling right now. Well, we need to play it for another like 30 hours to break that ceiling.
Yeah, it's interesting because we can absolutely decimate the AI on normal, and we can pretty much decimate fairly comfortably on the difficulty above that. But then the difficulty above that again is just brutal, and they just destroy us in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like within 10 minutes, both of our bases are just full of enemy.
Like
and there's
they're
just
like 3 stages ahead of us. Like
there's like 10 siege weapons coming like rolling towards us. Like no matter what we're doing, we're just not fast enough.
Yeah.
But it's really fun though.
Yes.
So
there's a lot of
I feel like we need
content
to
as well.
do some like maybe we need to do like the difficulty that we could beat them on, but like 2v4. So I don't know, like
I think we'll
curve going up.
experiment with some more of the co-op campaigns and get used to some different factions. I think the problem is at the minute, me and you were obviously achievement sluts, so we're trying every faction for the achievements. When really we probably need to find one that we like, and then learn how to be good with them, because that is the horror of these games.
I've learned, like I think I'm very bad for just making like every military unit and like trying to research everything.
We play it
Whereas
like console players.
People, I'm like, oh, they just go a cavalry faction and just make cavalry.
Yeah,
they just have like 5 stables and they don't even bother with anything else. I'm like, oh, I should probably do that because that's
our friend Damon is like ridiculously good at RTS games, and whenever we've played with him, he basically tells us what to do to try and beat him, and it's still not enough.
So he's like beating the shit out of us, but as he's doing it, he's like commentating how he's doing it. It's quite fun.
Well, beating the shit out of all 3 of us at the same time. And it's quite.
It's like 3 toddlers trying to wrestle their dad, and
the worst thing is, right? So this is an aside. Like Damon used to be a near tournament level player at Dawn of War. Remember Dawn of War, Chris?
Yes.
For the Warhammer version of that, and I think I played him once, and he completely wiped me in exactly 27 seconds. Like there is YouTube videos of him playing like competitive games online, like tournaments and shit, and he is good at that game. And and he's like I said, we haven't tested him. He's holding back. Like I've played Damon at Age of Empires 2 before, and it doesn't end the way it like makes hard computers look like easy. But there you go.
Yeah, we always have to do caveats that he's not allowed to attack us for so
literally,
long. Otherwise
like we're
it
children
would be
playing with daddy. Like, can you not?
It's like, oh yeah, we're just holding the controller. We're not really doing anything.
Honestly, literally.
I have a question then.
Yes. I'll go for it.
So obviously, Monster Hunter Rise, you say you don't want to jump right into Sunbreak because you've monster hunted yourself out.
Oh no, I see where this is going, and I think we'll get to this later.
Asia Emperors 4 is coming this year. Will you Asia Emperors yourself out?
No, I'm more excited for 4.
Yeah, same. And plus, like, I think the big difference probably for Craig in Monster Hunter, and again, we'll talk about all of this in more detail later, is I think if, like, say I was playing Monster Hunter as much as he was, and there was 2 of us constantly playing it, or like you were as well, I think Sunbreak would be a different thing, because you'd be like, oh, I'm going to play this in multiplayer. So it completely changed. Whereas, like, I know for a fact there's probably 5 people, like 5 of us already, that are already pretty much committed to playing Age of Empires 4 the second it launches. So it's like,
and I guess it's also a new game where 2 is a remaster.
I mean, 2 came out in 1999, right? So like, it's but yeah, bless it. But yes, anything else?
I also think 2. The thing is with 2, obviously, it's definitive edition, so there's so much shit in it. It's almost overwhelming how much content there
Yeah.
is. Whereas with
Like,
4,
it's about a 300-hour completion.
yeah. Whereas I feel like 4, like, there's probably not going to be like the campaigns like nowhere near as big as like
No.
2 definitive edition is at this point. For where that's just been getting added to for, like, you say, like 20 odd years.
Mm.
So yeah, like when 4 comes out, I think I'll be all over the campaign. Yeah, like you said, multiplayer. Yeah, definitely. And then the only other thing on Xbox I played is Atomic Heart, which is, so this is a strange game, boys.
There's your
This is a
understatement
game
of the day, by the way.
which everything in this game is either like amazing or absolutely shit. There's no in between of anything in this video game. It's so weird. So like the music in this game, incredible. Like I think it's the guy that does like Doom Eternal music. It's like ridiculously good. The story, the characters, unbelievably bad. I couldn't tell you what's happening. Don't really care what's happening.
Mm.
The gunplay and the powers, like you've seen, like as the Bioshock thing, where you've got a gun in one arm and you have the powers in your left. Amazing. But then it has like a thing where so it's first person shooter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get like knocked back. When you get knocked back, you like fall over.
Yes.
You can imagine getting like knocked back and falling over in first person. It's so weird. And then you kind of get like ping ponged because like enemies can hit you when you're on the floor. It feels like you're literally. It feels like you're like a ping pong ball just like bouncing all over the floor. It feels terrible. The linear parts of the it's weird because it's not an open world game, but it's got kind of like the hub world where you can go and then you drive to the next mission, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into like a linear mission. The linear missions are amazing, and they have like awesome like levels set up, and they have really good puzzles, which are all like incredible. But then the hub world shit, fucking terrible. To the point where it's like I literally get to the hub world, I literally just sprint to a car, get in the car, drive straight to the mission, get out car, run to mission, and just try and avoid the whole hub world because it's so bad. Like the way it's set up, there's enemies because the hub world. The whole idea of it, I guess, is that you meant to explore it and find shit.
Yeah, I guess that's when you go look at the achievement list. It's like find collectibles and all on hub world. You'd be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I guess, like Bioshock Infinite, where you have that hub world there.
Yeah.
But you're meant to explore and find all your crafting bits and pieces or whatever else. But they put so many enemies on the map, it's ridiculous. And then they have like turret enemy, not turret, like camera enemies. And if you catch you, then they set off an alarm. Then even more enemies spawn in. And then if you kill those enemies, right, there's flying enemies.
They come repair them. I seen
Yes,
something.
yeah, it's so bad. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's mental. Like, I saw people complaining about it in reviews, and I think I saw Randall 4 complaining about it on his podcast, and I was like, it can't be as bad as they're making out. And then I played it. I was like, oh no, this is horrendous. Like, it's pointless. There's no point fighting any of the enemies because it's just ridiculous. So yeah, so it's much easier just to get the car and drive straight to your destination. But then, like I said, once you get to the destination, you start the linear mission. It's amazing. It's so strange. But I think I am. Let's have a look a minute. I think I'm about like 10 hours in. I think it's like 16-hour game. I'm 11 hours in. So I think there's only like 4 or 5 proper like linear levels, but the linear levels tend to be quite long. And the first one's very long. I think the first one's like 4 or 5 hours in itself. So it's an odd one. Like I said, the things it does well, it does like really well, but the things it does badly are like unbelievably badly.
Hell yeah.
And then on the Switch,
it lives, by the way.
It
Can't believe in March, at the end of March, we thought this would happen, but here we are.
The Switch continues. I finished Kirby.
Woo!
You are the biggest Kirby fan in the world. I think it's the only series you've ever finished like almost every game, haven't you?
That's 2 on the Switch, right?
Yeah, you're the only one you haven't
done.
There's
no other ones on the
there's
Switch,
the
right?
the eating minigame one that I've got.
And Star Allies.
Yeah, there is actually a launcher one that you probably will like. that's like the one you just played?
Yeah, that was it's fine. It's very okay 2D platform. I think Chris has
Yeah.
played it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's nowhere near as good as the other one.
No, I think
The 3D
2D
one.
Kirby is literally that's the definition of it though. Like it's never bad. Like it's not like Yoshi where there's occasionally a bad one. But like Kirby is just always a solid 6 to 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Obviously, I've done the epilogue that they added as well, which I think I kind of preferred to the main game. Weirdly,
I mean
feel like
Yeah,
they
it was
kind of
it was pretty good. I can kind of understand because it was like new, where the Kirby felt like, because I finished it as well this week just gone. Like the Kirby just felt like the Star allies before that, and the Kirby before that sort of thing. You know what you're guessing with it.
yeah, definitely. And it doesn't really change much either. Like the first 5 levels are very similar to like the last 5 levels. If that makes sense, it's
Mhm.
very consistent with what it does. So I finished that, and I started Metroid Prime Remastered,
Mhm.
which is I think I played about an hour and a half. I've got to the point now where I get double jump. If you boys both remember where that is.
See, I don't remember getting double jump, so I don't know whether because I'm way later than an hour and a half, and I don't have double jump, so I don't know whether
Yeah,
Oh,
I
maybe
didn't
I
get.
played.
I
Maybe I
didn't
played
get.
more than an hour and a half.
I didn't get double jump to quite. I want to say a good few hours in.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
haven't got it
It's like
yet. Have you got So I don't suppose have you killed the like mirror boss with like the mirrors in the plant?
yes,
Okay, so you're probably
yes,
about 3 or 4 hours in then, I think.
yeah.
Mm.
Time
So yeah,
time flies when you're having fun, am I right?
it
Mm.
does, right? So yeah, I've literally got double jump, and yeah, I'm loving it. It's rare for me to play a game on Switch where I'm like, so normally my setup on Switch, so I have the Switch going, and then I have it the volume pretty much all the way down, yeah, and then I have a podcast or something off in the back where I'll be watching something. I started that with this game, and then like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh, no, this is kind of the music's pretty banging. And I was like, I'm going to turn the podcast off. And I turned the switch up, and I was like, oh, this sounds okay, but I might put the headphones in. I've had myself like literally headphones on, laying in bed playing the Switch. I was like, I never play the Switch this way. So that's like how good this game is. That I'm actually like full attention, headphones, everything. Yeah, it's very good. The music's awesome. The actual like the gameplay is great. I haven't played it in a couple of days because of work, but I definitely want to like keep on going with that because yeah, it's very fun, and it's also very fun playing a Metroid game where I'm not dying like every 20 seconds over and over and over again.
That is a very much a bonus. Very much a bonus,
Oh,
Gregor.
it really is. It feels like you're like constantly making progress. It even does things like I unlocked an ability, and it's the one you get before double jump, and you've got to backtrack a lot to get back to double jump.
Yeah.
So you've kind of forgotten a lot of the environments that you started in. And I kind of like in my head, I was like, I know there's an area that I can use this ability in this certain place. So I got back to there and I was messing around there and I kind of did it. And then it kind of came up with like a hint. It's like, oh, there's another thing like this back here. It's like it would have taken me like ages to figure that out, or I would have had to look it up. But it just kind of came out and did it because the game realized that you'd already like figured it out what you needed to do. It just obviously you don't know where you need to go. So I liked a lot that it kind of led me there. But yeah, awesome from what I've played so far.
Hell yeah.
And that is it.
Not bad, not a bad little fortnight for Craigo.
Yeah, a lot. Busy 2 weeks.
Busy 2 weeks. Well, I'm sure this will be a similar amount of busyness when we talk to Chris Pengelly.
Hello, Dave.
Chris, what have you bought? What have you been playing? What's going on?
Right, so we've already sort of touched on Kirby, so not much more to add on that. I've also finished Before Your Eyes on PSVR 2, which I did put some content up on that on the channel, a little review and a whole let's play of the game as well.
Lovely stuff. How was it, Pengy?
Yeah, good. It's like I've said in the review and on like if you were to come over, like have a go on the PSVR 2, like Gran Turismo 7 would be like the graphical showpiece. You're like, oh yeah, you're getting like a PS5 looking game in VR. Obviously makes sense. You're in a car, blah blah blah. But beyond your eyes is like, this this like elevates the game, if that makes sense. Like I know neither of you've played it on PC or like mobile, but like the weird like how it tracks your eyes with the webcam and blinking and stuff like that, and you got to like sit center so your webcam can see you. Like this makes so much more sense. Like looking around, the room and all that sort of thing is definitely an experience that's added by VR. Well, like Gran Turismo, even though playing briefly in VR and not in VR, I found it much more fun in VR. So it does add something, but it doesn't like the enjoyment is like the same sort of level. But like you look at like the kind of funny review, and even on Open Critic, I think like Beyond the Eyes is now on like a 84, 85, just because the reviews from the VR version of it bumped it right up, sort of thing. So it's definitely this sort of thing is the stuff that's needed on like PSVR 2, where VR makes a lot of sense of expanding the game.
Good. I'm glad the PSVR is still somewhat alive in your house, Pingy.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for it, Pengy?
For the PSVR 2,
Yeah.
I'm going to finish Call of the Mountain, and then I will start either Moss Book 2 or Kayak VR or something like that. Switchback came out this week. It's reviewed not fantastic.
Oh, is that the Dark Pictures one?
Yeah, and like some
Yeah.
of the like I watched one review and they're like, oh yeah, it's only like 3 hours long, but most VR games are quite short. So I'm like, it's a negative because it's 33 quid on the PS, and you think 33 quid for a 3 hour experience is not great. But then you go back to Call of the Mountain, and that was announced to be like 8 hours long. Everyone's like, like VR content. It's like 8 hours. That's like a 50-hour JRPG for VR. So it's like a weird sort of thing. And apparently, like graphically, it's not great, but a lot of people think it's maybe it was originally going to be a Quest title or a PSVR 1 title, and then they've like switched mid development to PSVR 2 and using the features like the blink thing and the haptics and all that sort of thing. So it's like graphics and length seem to be the two issues to the game. But the actual playing the game, the reviews all seem to think it's pretty fun playing it. It's just got other VR games to play, and it's 33 quid. So I'll wait for a sale or something on that one.
Is there a physical or is it digital?
No, digital only.
Boo.
Unless someone does a physical, because it's only Perp Games and like
They seem
two
to all
other.
be much later than their digital releases as well, from what I've seen. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
yes. So have you
Yes.
bought and played anything else, Pinky?
So I've also played a lot of Destiny 2, which you may have seen if you've been on your PS5, Davey.
My PS5 is not plugged in, Chris, but
No.
I will take your word for it.
Yes.
Obviously, we have to say RIP to Captain Zavala, Lance Riddick.
Yeah.
It's really sad that he died so suddenly. He's in a lot of games, Craig. Obviously, you'll know him best for Quantum Break, and I personally know him best for Horizon Zero Dawn. But yeah, rest in peace, Lance Riddick.
Yeah, I could see Burning Shores because we know he did capture for that being like his last.
That or
thing.
some Destiny content, because I think they've recorded quite a lot of.
Yeah, because there's
stuff
three
like
more. Obviously, this year's just dropped with the expansion of Lightfall, which I'm on the last mission of the campaign of Lightfall. And then you've got the 4-season things. So you've got Season Defiance, which is currently on, which I think has got 7 weeks still to go. And then there's three more seasons after that for the year. So I expect he's done content for those, voice lines and stuff for those 3 seasons at least. Then it'll be going into the year after, would be the question, if they've recorded stuff or not.
And how is
And then,
Destiny Lightfall, Chris?
Lightfall is great. I also finished Beyond Light as well, which was the PlayStation Plus expansion. So I finished Beyond Light. which you get the stasis ability, which you can like freeze like the enemy and stuff like that with stasis, and you can like chuck like a I want to say like a bit of like a pickaxe to freeze the enemies and all that sort of thing, and build. Well, the abilities I've got, because there's more to unlock, but some of it's time gated. Put like an ice wall up and stuff like that in front of you, so you got some cover and stuff. So that you get from Beyond Light, and you've got that campaign, which is was pretty good. So I finished the Beyond Light campaign. I finished what I could of Witch Queen without buying Witch Queen, which is like 3 missions. Did the same Shadow Keep. I finished the like 2 or 3 Shadow Keep missions you can do without buying that. One of the last missions was the campaign of Lightfall, which is pretty cool, which has got the new ability Strand, which is you can like swing around and stuff like the levels and that, and you can like throw. It's a bit like a boomerang, and then if you hit someone, hit an enemy, it like disperse, and then they hit other enemies, and they can get all tangled up in like the Strand sort of web. So I've nearly finished that campaign. Of Season Defiance, I've done the story content of that for all 3 weeks so far. So obviously week 4 will go live. I think it's like 6 o'clock on Tuesday or something like that. So it'll be week 4 of the season content, which is at the moment it's all battleground stuff, which is we're taking on the Shadow Legion, so that's pretty cool because you always do that with a fire team. What else have I done? I've done other stuff as well, so a lot of Destiny 2.
It is correct. What a weird year when me and Dave are playing Age of Empires and Chris is playing fucking Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Who would have saw that coming?
It's true.
Yeah, so yeah. And there's stuff after the Lightfall campaign, like I think I will get Strand, but you can get more abilities from doing other stuff. There's the new raid that dropped, but I think you got to be like 1790 light level, while I'm like 16. Now I'm like 1767 or something. So I'm aiming for the 1750 base light level high cap, but it's from getting pinnacle gear and powerful gear. So I've got that up. There is a raid I can do. So I think it's a raid I can do, which will drop me some better pinnacle ingrams. So get some better gear and get my light level up and stuff like that. So
Are you tempted to buy more of the expansions? Because is it the Witch Queen one, the one everyone really likes?
yeah, that's the Witch Queen's the one before this. I'm hoping as we have Beyond Light on Plus, they put Witch Queen on Plus at some point.
How much are the expansions? Like, I mean, I don't care. I can't care less about Destiny, but like, how much do they like charge for them?
They're 40 quid an expansion, but Witch Queen was on offer not long ago for 17.99.
Get on
Forsaken,
it, Penny. Get on it.
Forsaken, because that campaign's not really around any more. So that was like I think that was 19.99 normally, and Shadowkeep is normally 19.99 as well. Then Witch Queen I
It's
think is
knowing that
40.
Sony do actually own Bungie, so it would be a real good idea for them just to put everything, bar the most recent one, on Plus, really.
Yeah, yeah, it was weird that they put me on light, but I think it's mostly because it gave the Strand and not Strand the stasis ability, so it's the one with the new ability and the one before Witch Queen. So it wasn't the newest one at the time, and you got like the cool new ability from it. Something there is a whole collection where you can get Witch Queen, Beyond Light, and Shadow King on Forsaken. I'm not sure how much that is. Obviously, I have Beyond Light, I have Forsaken, I have. So we'd only need Witch Queen really from that. Apparently, the Shadow Keep campaign is not very good.
Is this the new future for Pengy? You're gonna be a Destiny bro. Because think of the money you could save if you like instead of buying the endless nonsense, you just play Destiny all the time.
Yeah, but what I guess anything is once I finished like full campaign, it's only going to be popping in once a week to do the
Oh
rest
yeah,
of the
but you've
season.
got like you just said, there's like what, like 3 or 4 other expansions you could get, like
I could get,
endless.
but I have the Season of Defiance, so like I said, there's 7 weeks still to go. That so pop in every Tuesday, do the seasonal storyline, which is following like a Mandarin Crow and that at the moment, and then there'll be obviously season 2, 3, and 4 for this year. So there's still going to be story content to do every week for the next 50 weeks or whatever. So
Lovely.
Mm.
Anything on Switch, Pengy?
Sort of is in my pickup, but I did play one with a thing. I played the Grimoire Once More demo on. I played it on PlayStation. It's also on Switch. Weird game.
Never even heard of this. What was it?
I vaguely remember watching the trailer for this on something, and it looks weird.
Yeah, it was a PS2 game, which I feel it was a late PS2 game. Like 360 was already out, sort of, thing.
The good old days.
That sort of like late PS2 era. It's from Vanillaware. It's published like NIS. It's getting a remaster on
Yeah.
PS5, PS4, and Switch. Started it. It's Vanillaware artwork, so you
So
know what that is.
Muscly, big titty girls.
Well, you're playing as like a little witch character, but it has got characters like that in
Oh
the
yeah, that's what
game.
they do.
Yeah, and it's like very story driven. You get like a little diary for different days, and it's all visual novel and stuff like that. And similar to 13 Sentinels, which I was a huge fan of last year. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to try the demo. And demo is like one of those ones where you can take your save over to the proper, game when that comes out. So
Which all demos should be now. Like,
yeah,
that's one thing I've learned from the Switch. Like, it's such a good system.
Yes, so started that. The story element and visual novel bit's really good, and you unlock gallery stuff. The soundtrack's decent. The art's like good for what it is and stuff like that. And then you get to the actual game part. So in 13 Sentinels, it's an RTS. In this, it's like a tower defense game, and I don't like the actual gameplay part of this game. So I won't be getting this one.
Sad times.
Saddest of times.
You have
Yeah,
to get your anime titties from somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of sources, Chris.
tower defense doesn't. Yeah,
Sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks, Thingy.
Hates boats. So I presume you've got a list of pickups to go along with the games you played, Pengy.
I do have a list of pickups.
Okay, well let's get them
So-
off.
I sold Kirby because I finished Kirby, and I also sold some other Switch games and stuff that brought me in 60 whole British pounds. Okay. I reinvested that £60 in 2 Switch games. One I have currently not played anything of, and that's Octopath Traveler 2.
Oh, that's a brave pickup, Pengy.
Sounds like a mistake, if I'm honest. But we move, we carry on. What was the other game?
It's like 60 hours.
You say that, but Triangle Strategy and Live Live last year.
Did you finish?
Yeah, but this is
Octopath
way
Traveler 1?
bigger.
No, but I finished Triangle Strategy and Live Alive last year.
Here we go. So this is just the main story, Dave. This is nothing extra. So this is 60 hours just on its own for the main story.
The first one was long, very long, like 10 hours per character, I think.
Yeah, that's brave, Pengy. That's a lot.
Yeah, so I picked that up, and I also picked up Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line, also for the Nintendo Switch.
Just sucking at Square Enix's teat for some more love, it seems.
So out of those two, I have played some Theatre Rhythm, and I've played it totally handheld so far. That's also one of the reasons why I picked up on Switch over PlayStation, because this series, the previous entries were on the 3DS. So I played both of them on the 3DS, and it just made sense to me, like, oh, I want the third one in the series, playing it on a handheld. Though it isn't actually that much different than the 3DS one. It's just it looks better because it's on a OLED screen with a more powerful system than whatever the 3DS screen is, which is mostly 240p or something like that, and the power, so like the art looks nicer and clearer and stuff on the Switch than it does on the 3DS. And then there's obviously going to have more soundtracks because there's been more Final Fantasy games and content, and then stints, then like Final Fantasy VII has 3 entries, and Final Bar Line has Final Fantasy VII, has a Final Fantasy VII series, which I presume is going to have like Dirge Cerberus and Crisis Core and Advent Children and stuff in, and then it's got Final Fantasy VII Remake. Has got its own entry, is well, sort of thing. So there's a lot of games you can pick from.
There's something else really weird happening here, Chris. Because
what?
in 2023, is Chris now the handheld man again? Didn't you play a lot of Kirby handheld?
Yeah, I play Kirby all handheld.
And now you play. And did you like? I remember you saying you were going to get Octopath on PlayStation. No, obviously, I'm guessing you've got Switch because of the handheld, surely.
No, I pulled it on Switch weirdly because I play Triangle Strategy on Switch, Life Live on Switch, and a bit of Octopath 1 on Switch, and so I just had him. So I just like buying it on Switch.
Oh, I thought there was hope that Chris Minghetti was the handheld man again.
I might try it on handheld. I might play a bit in handheld, but most probably won't. But Theatre Rhythm's been my handheld game, and so far I've done Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 1, and Final Fantasy 3 of the Final Fantasy games so far in Theatre Rhythm, because you have to unlock them. It gives you like 5 you can pick from at the start. So I picked Final Fantasy 2 because I was trying to go in chronological order. Finished that, so got a key to unlock any other one. So I went from Final Fantasy 1, key, Final Fantasy 3. So after I've done 3, I will do Final Fantasy 4 and so on until I've cleared like the quest line of all the Final Fantasies. So
Lovely, Pengy, and is that everything?
and my Bayonetta Origins has turned up. So
I always do this, where you say you've 2 games, then there's a 3rd game, and then you just
Well,
wait
yeah,
till
but
I'm
this
about to
one-
finish a sentence, and you're like, bam, I bought another game. I'm like,
reason I
Pengy.
kept this one separately because if you remember the last episode, I said they already paid for this because I got it from Game Collection and I bought Midnight Sun so I could get £10 reward points. And Craig
Have you
definitely
played
remembers.
Midnight Suns?
I have not played Midnight Suns.
I see.
I said at the time that you'd fallen for their marketing, and I stand by it.
Yeah, so I pay. Yeah, so that's why, because you might have gone, oh, Pengals to spend 80 or quid on Switch games, but I sold 60 quid worth of Switch games. So net spend.
Net spend cup again from Pengy. I'm winning the net spend cup anyway, Pengy, so I don't think you're going to catch me in that regard this year. I'm almost at £2,000 in the net spend cup at the minute.
Oh, I just got to sell a Fire Emblem on the
Sell your
GameCube.
Dreamcast collection. You could buy a car and a house.
Mm.
Well, lovely. Well, as we're 37 minutes into this podcast, I suppose we'll move on to me, Pengy, if you're ready for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So I don't think we had done my birthday since the last episode. Am I right in thinking that?
No.
So obviously I'm old. Not as old as Pengy, but still old. And to celebrate my birthday, what I did is I finally did the goddamn achievements on WRC 9. So I have 98% of the achievements. So I'm missing 120G play an online match achievement because obviously no one's playing that game.
That's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking, but it's not platinum. That's the only positive about it being Xbox is I'm not missing out on the platinum trophy. I've
Just
still
so
got
you're
a
not
high...
like me crying in a corner about my God of War.
Yeah, or like Final Fantasy 0. I'm like, oh, you know what? 98% is good for the completion percentage. I got 980 points. Like I can cope with that. That's fine. So I did that. Obviously, the byproduct of me having a birthday is I have actually received quite a lot of video games. So we'll start with the direct presents. I was directly sent Divinity Original Sin 2 for my Steam Deck from my friend Damon. So thank you, Damon. I've literally done the tutorial for that game. Runs really nice. Runs in Ultra on the Steam Deck. And that is fantastic. So we stick with Steam Deck. I have been playing lots and lots of Trails in the Sky still. The story is really getting more interesting. I think I'm about 37 hours in. So we're plodding away. I do a couple hours a night, Craigo. Love that game. It works perfectly in handheld on the Steam Deck. And I've dabbled in a couple other things on Steam Deck, but not really enough to bother talking about. It is the Steam sale right now. I have not bought a single thing yet.
I said to Craig, you'd definitely
strong
buy
boy.
Dirt 5.
I haven't bought anything at all. Dirt 5 is £14. I've I don't need to do it again. What I need, and this is a pet hate of mine, the goddamn year one stuff goes on sale on PlayStation all the time, right? And on Xbox, it's the EA publisher sale. Is Dirt 5 DLC on sale? Of course it isn't. I think me and Craig have had it wishlisted for about 2 years at this point. Just want that goddamn DLC to be under like 15 quid. I'll buy it. 15 quid. I will give EA my money and I'll get the 800 points. But anyway, that rant aside.
It's really expensive as well.
It's like 26, 27 quid.
Yeah.
I ain't spending that on it. Like, I love Dirt 5, don't get me wrong, but I ain't spending that on it. But that's it. Purely that's it for Steam Deck. On the Switch, I've played lots of Mario Party with some friends, like 4 or 5 hours more of Mario Party Superstars. The game's great. The Switch is really been held in reserve because I have about 26 hours of flights next week. So the Switch is the handheld I'm taking with me. I was like, do I take the Switch or do I take the Steam Deck? And I was like, well, my girlfriend's going to probably want to play Mario Kart with me, so I'm going to take the Switch. I expect to get a lot of the Mario Kart Cups done, probably some of the other stuff, probably Metroid Prime. I might even finish Metroid Prime on the flights, to be honest. I've got a 10-hour flight, and then we've got a couple short, like 4-hour flights in the middle, and then a 9-hour flight at the end. So I really am probably going to aim to finish Metroid when I'm not talking to my girlfriend and playing Mario Kart. So that's the Switch. PlayStation, as we've established, it's not even plugged in, so that's a quick bit. And then on Xbox, so I got a lot of gift cards. I got like £80 worth of gift cards. So what I did, excuse me, so I spent them on Xbox games, Craig. So the main piece of that pie was Hogwarts Legacy, which I got on the Xbox. I'm about 5 hours in, and it is a really very good video game. Particularly if you like or even know of Harry Potter, I think the setting is incredible. It's just wonderful. Like, it's just one of those things you play, like, oh my god, this is just really cool to be in this like environment in this world that's created and kind of well known, and it's like kind of fun. So that's cool. I'm in Ravenclaw because it's linked to my Harry Potter World account that I apparently have from probably like 10 years ago. So
That's amazing.
So it gave me a load of free stuff. It linked me to my house that I did the quiz online, and like a wand and everything as well. That's really cool. Combat's really fun actually. There's a lot of spells, and it's all about combos. So like you have your main sort of like attack spell, which is basically like an auto-aimed third-person shooter. It's the best way to describe it. And then you kind of mix and match. You'll do a like I don't know, like a Levioso to like lift a guy, and then an Accio to pull them towards you, and you set them on fire, and then you can change out, and you've got this like your dudes are obviously like the hero of time or whatever, so they can like throw stuff. It's got a really easy to understand countering system, Krago, which is very satisfying to pull off. It like slows the screen slightly as you do it. That's really fun. And yeah, like I just think it's a really fun game. On Series X, I'm playing on performance mode. It's got like some load hitching, is like the only technical issue I've really seen. So like when it goes between zones, it'll like hitch for like a second. You'll be like, oh, it's loading. You know what I mean? But like other than that, like the gameplay runs at a pretty good 60. Yeah, like I said, about 5 hours in, I'm actually kind of gutted I'm going on holiday in terms of that game. And I really hope that I'm still with it when I come back, because I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm planning to hit a good like 10 hours of that this week. And yeah, really highly recommend. I know it's got the whole controversy thing, but I'm not interested in any of that. Purely from the game that's been made, it's really good, and I really highly recommend playing it. Especially if, like I said, if you've even seen a couple of Harry Potter things, I think it's a great game. So
Yeah,
yes,
it's one that I want to pick up at some point this
yeah. I
year,
mean,
and I have zero interest. I've
yeah,
watched one Harry Potter film. That's all my knowledge of Harry Potter.
yeah,
But it
if
just
it's
looks like a very fun
if I
game.
don't end up selling it straight away, like it's one that I'll lend to you and you'll enjoy for the like 30, 40 hours that it's a thing, because it's just a good game. It's just a good third-person open world game. Like the side
Yeah.
quests are really simple and fun to do, and yeah, it's just a good game-ass game. Really, is the best way to describe it. But yeah, so that was the main entree, the main course, I suppose, of my gift card purchases. The other gift card purchases are actually games I have not played on Xbox yet. So I got the Trials Rising Gold Edition because I loved Trials Rising on Stadia. Like I remember saying to you guys, I played like 30 hours of it on Stadia. And I was like, I have a hankering for that kind of game. And the Gold Edition was like £7 or something on Amazon. Which the Gold Edition is the game, the expansion passes, like the whole shaboodle. Haven't played that yet, but I've played the game before. I love the game. Can't wait to get back into it and try and get some of those achievements, get those hard boys done. Always recommend the Trials games if you just want like a kind of chill game. to play in amongst other games, right? And then the other game. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this in my head now, doing the math. The other game I got was a £4 copy of Division 2 because I never finished it. So that was £4 new, Craig. So I was like, you know what, chuck Division 2 in there, why not? And then the last part of the gift card that
Did
I've
you?
used.
Because I remember we started that, didn't we? I think I might
I
have finished it with
completely
someone.
stopped. You didn't play it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started it, and then I
Mm.
moved. If you
Mm.
remember, I moved to Bristol.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
the Xbox One had you couldn't play anything with that internet, and the Division 2 was even worse. So by the time I'd got internet, I think you were like everyone was a really high level because I think you got it. I think my friend Pete got it. And
I
yeah,
think Simon had it.
Simon had it. Like I literally didn't get because I was probably like level like 10, and then I moved to Bristol. I didn't have internet for what 10 days, and it was done, completely done. I remember putting the game on like when I got internet and being like, I have no idea what's going on, and you guys
Yeah, I
being like,
remember
oh yeah, I'm
the
dead.
base like gameplay and this like the core like campaign's like really fun on that, and then you get to the end and it's like, oh, and here's the end game, and it's just the same again. And I was like, yep, no, I'm done. I was like, I've
It's
enjoyed my time with this, and
it's
I am
one
moving
of
on.
those games that is on sale so regularly that when I saw it for £5, I was like, well, if I finish this, that expansion pass is like it's £6 or £7. I think right now you can get a code on Amazon for £7 for the expansion pass, and I think the game is. I think I paid £5 for the game. So I'm like, well, if I finish the game, like I probably won't, but if I do, like a £5 loss, Craig, is not much, is it? It's a sandwich, right? So I'm like, if I finish Division 2 and I want to play more Division 2, then I'll get the expansion pass and it's more content, right? But yeah, the Amazon has like a kind of like weird deal with the Xbox games at the minute, and I was just like, yeah, I need to make it a round number because of my ADHD, and that was that one. And the last one is a very surprising game. It's a game that I think none of us have remembered exists. Okay, and it was £7 new on Amazon, and it was Mega Man 11,
Oh yeah.
which everyone forgets exists. Reviewed quite well. I've never finished a Mega Man game, and I was like, oh, you know what? Like,
Mike Minotti would be very disappointed in you, Dave.
does he not like 11?
No, he loves Mega Man.
Yeah, so Mega Man's weird,
You've
right?
not
So
finished Mega Man 2 on the
I've not
NES.
finished any. I mean, no, I've not finished any of the Mega Man games. The only ones that came out, like when I was conscious of Mega Man, was the first new one, which was 9, I think, which I
Mm.
had on PS3, and is hard as dicks, Craig. Like, you can keep your Dark Souls because that's a piece of piss compared to what Mega Man is. All right, Mega Man 11 is different because it actually has an easy mode and it's modern. And I was like, you know what? Like it's £7. It's one of those, like we talked about Half-Life a couple of weeks ago, and we were like, how have none of us finished a Half-Life game? It's like this massive franchise, right? And Mega Man is in that sort of Mega Man, Castlevania, in that kind of thing where I'm like, yeah, they've been around forever. Like we're not a NES centric country. So most people are like, yeah, I loved it on the NES. Like we didn't have that. Like we were all Master Systems here in Europe anyway. So it's like I haven't really had a great chance to play a newish Mega Man game. So I was like, hey, let's try Mega Man. So that's there to install again. I've got a big holiday, and I'm not going to play another game till I finish Hogwarts. So, but yes, that was I think I still got like 15 quid left to use as well. But it's plenty of games, Craig. And obviously,
Oh, there's always games.
and on top of that, of course, as Craig mentioned earlier, I've been playing lots of Age of Empires 2. Very much enjoying that game. It's fun to play an RTS. They've done a really good job with the remaster. The new content they have is very plentiful, and even stuff like the weird free battle pass thing they do, where it's like, hey, you unlock some mods for the game. Like there's an Xbox one in a minute, so like you can get Xbox logos for like the trebuchet and like your player icon for multiplayer. It's fun. Like it's a reason to play the game. So yeah, really enjoying that. And yeah, Game Pass has got lots of tasty delights that we're going to talk about shortly. Anyway, but yeah, that's mainly my gaming. Obviously, there's been about 20 hours of Football Manager in there. Do you count that as gaming, or do you count that as my second job? Entirely up to you. All I can tell you is I'm very good in the Portuguese league. Boa Vista are a great side.
You're back with Boa Vista again.
I love that. I mean, it's like going home, right? It's like going home. I was like, do I do the MLS? Because I'm about to go to America. But like, once I've had the freedom of actual freedom, then maybe we'll know when we come back. But yes. Anyway, this is a lot. There's a 49-minute intro. You still
Love
got
it.
to talk about the main topic. So let's get to the main topic of the show, boys. The tots, tots. So we did a big PlayStation episode, me and Chris, not that long ago.
Mm.
We did a Switch episode not that long ago. So I felt it was right, and it was it was kind of a perfect time to do an Xbox.
So we're doing a PC episode.
We're doing an Xbox chat, Chris. And I mean, if Chris wants to log off at this point, you may. You can say goodbye. So do your little bye. That's fine. It's not a problem. But yeah. So we're doing the Xbox chat. I've got a few little pointers. Obviously, Craig is the main Xbox guy. I dabble. I change my mind every year which console is my favorite. At the minute, it's the Xbox, so that's great. But yeah, so let's start off, Craigo, with our sort of Game Pass highlights of the year so far. So this doesn't have to be new games. It doesn't have to be indie games. It's just like these games that have come to Game Pass and have caught your eye. And obviously, I know Craig's answers to this because he's actually said this in the previous section of the episode. But we'll get to him first. So, Penky, is there anything you've even played in Xbox since January 1st?
I played the first level of Hi-Fi Rush.
And how was the first level of Hi-Fi Rush, Penky?
It was fine.
It was fine. So, Craig.
But I do have some highlights.
Okay, what are your highlights, Penky?
Because I had a look to see what come out. And obviously, so I would recommend Persona 3 and 4 because they are great, especially Persona 4. Monster Hunter Rise. I guess Hi-Fi Rush because it's reviewed very well. And because it's a day one game and love the day one games on Game Pass, Wulong. So, yeah.
Okay, Pengy with the highlights. Craigo. So obviously you are the biggest purveyor of Xbox. What have you been your highlights of sort of games that I think you would not have normally played, or just in general, like the general goodness it keeps giving you? Because like we said, we had a whole episode at the beginning where we were like, how many games is Craig going to buy this year? And we were like, oh, it's going to be this. And it's like, even in every month goes past, I'm like, oh, it could just be 2. It could be very few games.
Yeah, I think it's 1 on Xbox still, right? It's just Dead Space, I'm pretty sure.
So far, yes. I think so far that's true.
Obviously, that's going to change at the end of this month, but yeah, so far still just 1. Actually bought. I've played like quite a few, but not a huge amount because I've obviously I've played a lot of like time sinky games like Age of Empires and Monster Hunter Rise, which are obviously both Game Pass. And like Age of Empires is definitely the one you were saying where it's like the sort of game I wouldn't normally play, but it is on Game Pass. Therefore, I played it and loved it.
Yeah.
In terms of like highlights, I mean, Hi-Fi Rush is definitely like a big highlight. The game's amazing. I think the first level is the worst level in the game because it's very tutorial heavy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games that kind of like it starts off very good and it just keeps on getting better and better and better. And by the end, it's just like incredible. So I would definitely recommend Hi-Fi Rush. I think it's pretty much like a must play this year, I would say. Especially on Game Pass. Other highlights, I mean, it didn't come out this year, but High on Life I played this year from Game Pass. That's very, very good and very, very fun. And that's, to be fair, that's pretty much all I've played. I've played like High on Life, Hi-Fi Rush, Shadow Warrior 3's fine. Obviously, Monster Hunter Rise is brilliant. Definitely recommend playing that, but just know going in that you are putting a lot of time in that game if you want to get anywhere near finishing it. Age of Empires 2 is much better than I thought it would be. And Atomic Hearts, I mean, like I said earlier, it's a strange game and it's very hot and cold, but it's worth playing if you like first person shooters, if you like Bioshock. But yeah, highlight is definitely Hi-Fi Rush without a doubt.
Nice. I think for me, it's something sort of similar. Like I think the remasters have been very good this year, so it's been really fun to play Age of Empires. It's really cool that the Persona games are on there. It's pretty exciting to know that games like Age of Empires 4 that I would have not played yet, and you got Minecraft Legends and stuff. But of the highlights so far, I definitely think Monster Hunter Rise is probably the biggest highlight for me, because it's just a game that's felt not stranded on other things, but just kind of off the radar. And it just seems to work better on Xbox because of Xbox Live, right? That's the one thing that's better than Switch.
Yeah, it's one of those games where it's like I always want to play it. Like I bought Pengu's copy, but I didn't really want to play it on the Switch.
Right.
So
But I
coming to
literally bought it
Xbox
the
and
week
Game
before,
Pass.
if you remember, digitally.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't download it, got the refund.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's fine. I mean, you know, like the thing about Game Pass is it's different strokes for different blokes, and there's so many highlights. But let's while we're still talking about Game Pass in general, what we're looking forward to for the rest of the year, because obviously we know some stuff that's coming out this year. So let's again, Pengy, is there anything for you that's sort of jumping out that you're quite excited for that's coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, I got a couple here looking. So one actually quite soon, well, as in next month in April, is Last Case of Benedict Fox. So looking forward to that one, which is a Metroidvania, which they've shown off a couple of times, Xbox in like showcases and indie idea Xbox indie shows. So that's looking pretty good from what we seen. So I most probably will play that. Couple others like Fuga 2 is coming straight to Game Pass. I still haven't played the first one. I'm excited to hopefully it reviews well for Fantasy Critic like the first one. So that sort of thing.
I
You got
didn't
like
even know that was like coming to Xbox on Game Pass. It's quite funny.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one was on Game Pass. That's really
Yeah,
good. I
first one's
actually
on
went
Game
for Fuga 2 on Fantasy Critic as well, so sadly,
Yeah.
Bengals beat me to it.
Yeah. So that's sort of thing. Cocoon is coming to Game Pass, which is from a couple of X-Play Dead. There's obviously we know about that. That obviously there's like you happen with Bioshock at one point. It's like even if you just mop the floor somewhere, it's like from someone from Bioshock. There's a couple of games obviously there's like Playdead's names being attached to sort of thing. So this Cocoon could go either way. It could be good, it could be bad. Annapurna are publishing it, I believe, and they're decent-ish publisher. So looking forward to that. Dark Tide, when that eventually comes to console, because is it on PC Game Pass at the moment, or is it just on
Yes.
Windows?
Yes.
It is on PC Game Pass. I didn't know if it's just on Steam or something. Did it review okay? I think on PC.
Yeah, it had some bugs, I
Technical
think.
issues.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
other than that, it reviewed relatively well.
Yeah, so that one looking forward to, and then another Annapurna one, and then like the Out There, but the Pengals, like sort of the Pengals game, Thirsty Suitors, which you may remember is to like an American Indian family, and like the character you play as, like she can skateboard, but then like you fight your like ex-boyfriends in like a in like a turn-based JRPG.
That's one of those games where there's been a pitch meeting and there's loads of different ideas and they've just gone, let's do all of it.
They've just said
Because
yes.
it's like, is it like visual novel like
Yeah,
aspects to it as well?
yeah, it's like a visual novel. There's a skateboarding thing, and they've also they got like a pro skater coming in to like do like the tricks of that, and then the combat is a JRPG and sort of thing against your like ex partners and stuff like that. It's very Annapurna. It's coming, day one on Game Pass sort of thing. So that one. So basically, Annapurna games with Cocoon versus Suitors.
Lovely.
Mm.
And is that it? Is that the sort of like highlights for you, Pengy?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Craigo, how about you, buddy?
Like Chris, I mean, the last case benefit Fox looks really good. I think it's previewed really well as well. The only thing that comes out, I believe, like the day before or the day after Star Wars comes out, I think. So I feel like that's one that a lot of us will probably play Star Wars, right? And then maybe go back to that afterwards. That looks really good. I think Dave has that on Fantasy Critic. I think that's going to get him some juicy points for that.
You know it.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to Minecraft Legends. We had a lot of fun on Minecraft Dungeons when that came out.
We did.
And this looks really good. I keep getting like weird, like I don't know, like Kessin vibes from this.
If only, God, if only they'd bring Kessin back, Craig.
I know, right? It really looks like a like Minecrafty Kessin with like some building and stuff. It looks really fun. It looks really beautiful. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to like I think they've said 2023, but like when Stalker eventually comes out, probably because I just feel like that seems like quite a big moment because obviously what that team's like gone through and all of that sort of thing. So that's gonna be quite cool when that actually does come out. And what they've shown looks really good as well. And then I mean Redfall in a couple of months' time because of the the co-op shenanigans that I'm sure me and Dave will get into there.
Oh yes.
And then weirdly, like, they did a recent trailer for Redfall, like a story trailer. I watched it on my TV, and I watched it on the YouTube app on my TV, and I rarely use that, so it's still got like autoplay turned on, which obviously you always turn that off on anything else, right? It's annoying as shit. And I watched that trailer, and then it autoplayed the 10-minute Starfield gameplay trailer from, I think it was the last E3 show. I think that's right. That's where they showed that. I left that on and it was playing. I was like, oh, this looks like really fucking good. I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot how good like that looked. So that got me a lot more hype for Starfield again. Which obviously we're getting the developer direct the day after the main Xbox show. So yeah, that's probably the highlights for me. And then obviously, like Chris said, there's endless fucking Game Pass indies, which just never stop.
Nice. Nice. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna travel the road that you've all traveled. Really, like Starfield and Redfield look cool. I think Minecraft Legends is going to be a sneaky hit this year. Like I think much like Dungeons, people have got pretty low expectations for some reason. I don't really know why. But I think that game's going to be one of our favorites for sure. I think, especially now we've played Age of Empires, I think we're kind of in the mood for that, like moving the characters around in that kind of way.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, Age of Empires 4 we've talked about is on that list, and there's quite a lot of JRPGs already on there that I'd like to get to, and I feel like there's going to be more. As well, and it's just lots of games where it's like, hey, this is coming to Game Pass. Oh, by the way, this is coming to Game Pass. Exoprimal, which was completely not on my radar. Played the beta the other day, was kind of fun, and now it's coming to Game Pass day one. Like, okay, like I'll probably play that now because it's coming to Game Pass. It's co-op. Like, we have like a weird games night on a Tuesday now. Like, it's one that if we don't like it, we've played it. It's not cost us anything extra.
That game's like weirdly from the people I've seen who played it as well, they're like weirdly positive about that.
It's really fun. Like, it's just like the mechanics are really fun. It's strange. You feel like, oh, it shouldn't be, but it really is. It really is just a standard fun game.
Because I remember when that was obviously first shown, everyone got so excited because they thought it was Dino Crisis, and then it was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah,
And now, like, it's like people have played the demo, and now it seems to be a lot more positive.
yeah, because it looks like EDF. That's what people are like. Oh, it's Air Defense Force, which is weird. Why have they made more of that? But yes, that's the games I am excited for. So let's move on to the next little bullet point I've got: hardware. So there's been lots of talk of the PS5 Pro. There's been lots of talk of the Switch 2. Not much talk about Xbox. I mean, people have been long rumored of like diskless versions of the Series X. And obviously we've still got the Elite controllers come out and all this kind of stuff. So how are we feeling in terms of hardware, Pengy? Is there anything you really want from Xbox?
Inside gaming, even though it mainly touches on the PS5 Pro because apparently it's targeting a like holiday 2024. Apparently devs have got the Pro series system as well, but they've not like I think because the PlayStation 5 Pro's got a targeted date where the series I don't know, it's just a question mark. It's not as being picked up more. But I don't really know what you can do, even with the PS5, like what you can do. Like, the rumor of that is like better ray tracing. So maybe that's what the Series XR2 or whatever has as well. But hardware, really wise, I think Craig might actually say the same. Xbox do this quite often where they showed, like the other day, Oreo Series S. I can understand not selling an Oreo Series S in a game or a GameStop or whatever. But they do all these special edition controllers, and some a little bit silly, like the Asia Emperor ones had like chainmail or something on. But they do these.
It looks so good though. I
Yeah,
saw that the other day. I would fucking buy that straight away.
yeah, they do these cool controllers and stuff beyond just they've done the green one, now they go with the red, blue, blah blah blah. So just release your controllers, Xbox. So like, there must be a cool Redfall they can do like black and red vampire-y or something like that, or maybe something for Forza Motorsport. I don't know. Make the texture on the back of it a little bit more like a steering wheel or something. I don't know, but yeah, they do these special edition controllers. sort of release them. Don't make Xbox Series S toasters. Release your controllers. There you go.
And yeah, to follow on that, I completely agree. Like, why they don't sell these things, I don't know. They could be making so much money.
Mm.
Like, it is crazy. They just give them to influencers, and that's it.
Yeah, because you got to think like that Series S toaster that's coming. How many of them are they really going to sell?
Yeah, it's more publicity. Like, it's more
Yeah, I know
like
it's more publicity, but like the Age of Emperors chainmail covered controller, it mostly sell more than the Series S toaster. So
yeah, of course.
why are you not releasing
It's
that?
such a strange move because they've always traditionally done a lot of really good special edition controllers with their games. So like I have the
Yeah.
Gears
They've only
one.
really done Forza Horizon. That was the only one
They
they've
did
really
Forza
done this gen.
Horizon this gen. They did Sea of Thieves last gen and Gears and Halos, right? But it's like
Mm.
this, like I said, like this gen, it's just been Forza, and
Yeah.
it's really bizarre because like
And the
they're
Space Jam ones, which
yeah,
I guess
that was a
more the
promo, I guess,
movie.
really, like
Yeah,
with Warner
yeah,
Brothers. But like they just, considering that they also then have their creator controller stuff, which is so much better than everyone else. And you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't understand. Because I mean, there's at least 4 or 5 that we've put in our group chat that I know for a fact Craig would buy. And I know for a
Mm.
fact
Oh, I
I
would have
would
bought all
buy.
of them.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
I've got the Forza one. I've got they did the 25. Was
yeah,
it the
that's the, I
20-year anniversary one?
wish I'd bitten on that one when I looked at it. Oh, I
Yeah.
forget that came out. But like, it's one of those, I said this to my girlfriend, and I was like, so I'm selling a lot of my games at the minute. I'm really downsizing my game collection because one, I don't need it, and two, everything's digital. And I'm like, but I really want to collect controllers. Like, it's nice and fun to have like a physical thing to put on a shelf or to use, and it's like controllers are a cool way to do it, especially for Xbox because I can use it on my Steam Deck. Like if I buy a PC, I'll have a couple for my PC, and it's 4-player games, fun to play, whatever, right? But it's like, yeah, just make it,
Even if they do it like PlayStation the other day with the Hogwarts
yeah. They got the
one.
Hogwarts one. I've got the God of War one.
It,
I own. Like it's
it was a one. It was just like on. It was only on PlayStation Direct, and it was like a 1 day thing. And I was like, just do that then. If you don't want to put out the Age of Emperor 1-2 game
yeah.
or
Just
GameStop
make
or something,
10,000
just
available. Let us buy them. Like okay,
and buy it
that's
on the
fine.
Xbox
Yeah.
store. Where you can buy the hoodies
Yeah,
and stuff like
let it
that.
be like a perk for having Game Pass where you can go into the queue, right? Like just something like
Yeah.
that if you really want to do it. Like I think, or make them prizes for Game
Mm.
Pass rewards, like couple per region, like just even that, like give us a chance to get them. But yeah, it is
Yeah.
disappointing. I suppose on that vein, is there still no interest from anyone for the Elite 2 creator controllers?
Nah,
No.
I did have a Elite one, but that was back in the day when I was playing like Overwatch, like non-stop addiction, and like things like Rainbow Six Siege, whereas I just don't play competitive first-person shooters nowadays. So
Maybe I
I
need
just
one
don't need
for
it.
Crucible.
Here you go.
Go Pengy.
Yeah.
Again, they make Destiny 2 controllers on PS5. What are they doing? But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, and I agree with your point. The whole mid-gen upgrade thing, I don't personally understand for any of them, bar obviously the Switch, but the Switch has been out 6 years. I don't understand the need for a PS5 Slim or Pro, and I don't understand the need
I
for
can
a.
kind of get Slim just due to how big
But
the
it's not.
PS5
They're not
is.
cheap. Nothing's cheaper to make at the minute because of the
No.
ship prices and stuff. So it's like,
It's going to be so interesting to see what this is priced at, because obviously normally the mid-gen refreshes come out
they do
and
a Slim first. They do a cheap one first.
well, normally the main console has gone down in price like twice by
Yeah.
the time they've come out. So normally like the PS4 would have gone down to like, I don't know, 250, 300, and then you bring out your mid-gen refresh, then that goes to the price of the base, whatever the base PS4 was, right? Same with the One X. But
But
obviously the PS5 now is actually, it's gone the other way. It's gone up, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Xbox has or does.
It has in some regions in the
Yeah.
Xbox,
So what's like the PS5 is what, like 500 now?
something like that.
I
So
think
like
it's over 500 now. I might be wrong, but
what's the the
well, it's
mid-gen
so
refresh going to
like
be
the thing
like?
with that as well, like your examples, the PS4 Slim and the Xbox One S both preceded the Pro and X consoles by a couple of years. So if you had an Xbox One, the next version was the One S, which was the slim one, and so it was cheaper and smaller, and there was thus a reason to get it. And the PS4 Slim was cheaper and smaller and quieter, so thus a reason to get it. Whereas like to go from a PS5 to then the Pro model, like what are you adding? like you said, like
Well,
it's
I
more
do
expensive.
think
Why
we'll
is there
get a
not?
PS5 Slim this year.
Yeah, because usually they do it so that they can sell more of them without losing more money. So like you've all the hardcore people have gone out and bought the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X. So like now, okay, let's get the one to get the casual people in. Obviously for Xbox it's weird because they have the Series S. Now like I think a lot of podcasts we listen to are like just make a Series S with more memory. That would be the answer for me. Like make a Series S with a terabyte, put it on the shelves, package it with Minecraft. There you go. It will still be the best selling of those two, right? But yeah, with the Series X, like, so unless I get it as a free upgrade with the all access package I have, I won't be buying a new Xbox anytime soon.
I just don't really know what you can do with either of them to improve it, like better ray tracing. Until we see it in like action and sort of thing, then I
Yeah, it's just another
don't know.
SKU though, isn't it? Like it's like developers have got to make the XS, the X2 version of the game, and then so it gets even more confusing.
And are you gonna need like a $2.5 grand TV to actually
to
like
really get
see
it
the
right?
difference? That's the thing. Because
Yeah.
I think on Game Mess they pointed out that the part of the reason that the One X and the Pro were a big deal is because obviously everyone's like kind of had access to 4K at that point. And that was the big selling point of those mid-gen refreshes, wasn't it? But there's not really
Yeah.
that like big tech like change at the
No,
moment.
I
Where
don't
it's
know
like
anyone with an 8K TV.
exactly. So it's like that was like a very easy selling point that you could put on the
Yeah.
box, and everyone understood what it was. Whereas it's like you put ray tracing on the box, and it's like, is that a mover of a needle? I don't know. It's
No.
I
strange.
want them to make a handheld, and I've said this for years.
Oh yeah, that's the dream, Dave.
It's just make a handheld, make the Series Y and make it a Steam Deck, but it's Windows. Like
And Game Pass, yeah.
just just let it have Game Pass on it. Let us dock it and use it as PC Game Pass as well. Like there you go, have your cake and eat it. That's basically what I'd want with Xbox. They won't do it, but that's what I'd want to do. Same with PlayStation. PlayStation, my most fun period of PlayStation was the Vita and the PSP. So, because it had really good synergy with the PS4. I think that's the thing that I'm missing with PS5 at the moment because I just don't think there's any synergy. Like you either play your big budget third person action game with daddy issues or you don't. And that's kind of it. Like VR's come out and it's really made no wave, which is a shame because I was quite like I was very glad that I was like, right, I'm going to wait and see what people think of it. And at the minute, it's already kind of been forgotten already. So I'm like, ugh, okay. And it's like, yeah, just do something, guys. Obviously, this is the Xbox chat, so we won't go into PlayStation VR. We'll save that when Chris is ready to step out of AA and talk about it. But yeah, I mean, hardware, I don't. It's nothing I want. More controllers. I will buy another controller probably this year. I really want that Hyperkin 360 controller.
Yeah,
I
that
haven't
looks
fallen
awesome.
for any of the Hyperkin controllers yet. Like I know Chris had the Duke. Never got round to that, but this is like I think it's $50. So if it's available in the UK and around the £45-40 mark, I probably will get a 360 controller and I'll use it and be like, this is nowhere near as good as a new controller, but I'm glad I got it because I love the 360. So
Yeah, you'll use it like twice and then you'll go
it'll
back to
be
your other
player
one.
four. Someone will come over and we'll be like, hey, we're playing Crash Team Racing. We got 4 controllers. So like, I have an Xbox controller in here somewhere. And obviously, I use my Nikon controller anyway, the one I won from True Achievements, which is wired, has a big like 5 meter wire on it. So I had to use it when we played Age of Empires because we played that game so much, my batteries ran out on both my controllers. But yeah, hardware. So what's next on my little list? There's no need. I think there's no need to talk about third-party games because we talk about that every month.
I put under other because like third-party games. I think we're just going to talk in general, like next Friday. I know. Okay, we might do podcasts for a couple of weeks now, but like Craig would pick up Resident Evil on Xbox. If I was picking it up, I would pick up on PlayStation, and if you could pick it up on Steam Deck, we're all playing it on something different.
I can tell you right now, I will not be picking it up unless I win it in a code because I'm not buying.
Yeah, but you get my
I
example.
get your drift, yes.
So, talking of drift, Forza Horizon Rally DLC is coming out soon, which I will be playing because I like Forza Horizon.
I'm so upset it's coming out when I'm in America because me and Craig play it on launch night, and I'm very upset that it's
is it the 30th?
It's the most
9th, I think.
It is the most Dave ass DLC as well.
Yeah,
because there's the full
is.
focus as well.
Yeah, so what they've done is they did what they always do. They've gone back and redone a DLC because this was the DLC of the first Forza Horizon. It was a rally DLC, so they brought it back. God, I'm excited for this, Chris. It's going to be my DLC of the year, I think.
But at the currently, it's
Unless I
Lightfall for
get
me.
really into Sunbreak.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, March 29th it is.
I will
When's
be
Resident Evil?
Friday, 24th, isn't it?
Ah, okay. So there's a little bit of time in
Well,
between.
you can just hold Rally until Easter if you want, Craig. I mean, you just wait for your pal Dave. Just wait for your good old pal Dave.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. The fact that it's got all the when they were showing it, obviously I think they have like the racing line and the map on the ship. But I can see like if you turn all that shit on and just go by the rally notes, it's gonna be awesome.
I'm wondering if I'm any better because I've played so much WRC since the last real massive amount of Forza Horizon we played.
Yeah, I mean you were always much better on the off-roady bits as well than you were on the
I'm
road bits of
atrocious
Horizon,
at the
right?
road bits, but yes, thank you for making that seem like I'm good at anything, Craig. But yeah, Forza Horizon. I mean, Forza Horizon 5 is the best Xbox game, and I don't think that's a controversial thing to say. So more of it is great. You know what else this is actually kind of making me feel like, boys, is so that's the second and last DLC for 5, right? So 6 is probably on the horizon, excuse the pun, at some point. Because I know they've got two teams. One's making Fable, one isn't. So more Forza Horizon would be.
Is it finally going to be in Japan?
I really hope they
well, now
they
Assassin's Creed's done it. Might as well, right?
something like Japan, and something like really like city based. So I noticed when I was watching the stream they did to announce the Rally DLC. I mean you should never look at the chat on those streams because obviously it is just carnage.
PlayStation
But
boys.
it's a lot of people asking for like Forza Horizon as city, which is obviously like the Dave's worst nightmare because he wants the off-roady shit. But I do think it'd be really cool and be a big change for them as well because a lot of their maps are quite open, aren't they? A lot of like fields or like desert to drive through. So I think like in Japan and like a big city, almost like the old like the old Midnight Club games, like that sort of thing, would be like incredible.
Hell yes. Love it.
They could even call it something different. They call it PGR. Make another PGR.
Don't say those fucking letters near me, Craig.
Yeah, that was literally going through Xbox, trying to find something that isn't coming to Xbox, that isn't in Game Pass, and that's the only thing that I could find was the Forza Horizon DLC.
Yeah, I mean, it was just going to be DLC, isn't it? I think with the way Game Pass is. So I want to do one more section because we're already over an hour. So we're not going to do Starfield versus Redfall. We'll wait until one of them comes out. You know what? I don't want to talk about Activision. I don't want to be that guy. If it happens. So we'll end on the most Dave-ass part of this. And Craig, I mean, we will have it. So let's end on achievements. So what, if any, if you don't have any, let's make some up. Like achievement goals. What would you like to do this year? I know we talk about it at the front of the year. I just like to talk about achievements. I can start off to make it easier for me. I've set myself the very low target of 30% completion, which sounds terribly easy, but I've played a lot of Xbox games for 1 minute and got the press start achievement, so it's kind of fucked me. But yeah, I'd like to get a more consistent completion rate with my achievements. I'd love to get to 150,000. It's not going to happen this year, but I'd love to. It's funny when people from work are like, "Oh my god, your gamer score's so high," and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're a child. You think it is?" Mine's awful. I've been playing since 2005. I should have like a million. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been literally playing since the day they brought the fucking achievements out. Why is my score so low? So, I want to make that better. We've talked about it before. I'm flippy floppy, but I really do feel like this is the year that the Xbox kind of becomes my main machine again. I'm just really enjoying what they're putting out, and I'm enjoying being able to play and chat to Craig, and I've been reconnecting with my friends a lot more now because we're all on Xbox, and the whole PC synergy stuff is really cool. So yeah, that's kind of my Xbox achievement goals for the year. And in terms of Xbox game goals, I want to finish one horror game this year. I don't know which one. And I want to finish like one game in all these franchises that I keep talking about that I've never really played. So I'd love to finish Mega Man. I'd love to finish a Castlevania. If they did Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and it isn't PlayStation exclusive, I'd love to play that as well. Like those kind of things, just like I've got about 20 Sonic games. I'm
Mm.
slowly working through Sonic Origins. I completely forgot at the start of the show to mention that I've been playing Sonic Origins, but I've been playing Sonic Origins because you can play it without lives. So I'm finally going to finish Sonic like 1. I haven't finished since I was about 5. So I'm like, yeah, cool. But yeah, that's kind of my Xboxy goals. Pengy, is there any? Is just play it? Is that yours? Is it to make sure the Series X lives until December 31st? What are your goals on Xbox this year?
I guess maybe get to 200,000 because I'm like on 100, like 193 or something like that. So I guess to get to 200,000. But the problem is I gotta turn it on to get to 200,000. That is the thing. But yeah.
Craigo, you're Mr. Xbox, and you've been getting more Xboxy as the years go by. So what, if anything, would you like to achieve? What would you like to complete? What would you like to do on your Xbox this year?
I think I sort of started like go for like 60 completions. I'm still on 50. I haven't got a single one so far this year. Because I've been playing a lot of like games that have a lot of achievements that you just can't unlock. Like Monster Hunter Rise, I think I've got like 8 achievements in like 60 hours or something like that. And Age of Empires is similar. There's like 200 achievements on that game. I think I've got like 10. But it probably, like you said, to still go for like the 60 completions. I'm sure there will be some more Game Pass indies. Like Annapurna is always good
Mhm.
for completions, right? And they've got
That
games
that's what
coming.
that's what could get me to 200,000 of Cocoon
It's
and
Annapurna, yeah.
Thirsty Suitors. I play both of them. They're both an easy 1,000-ish. So I think there's 2,000 already.
They've got other. They got like, is it Solar Ash or the other one that's going to be coming to Game Pass as well?
Yeah, Solar Ash is coming to Game Pass at some
Yeah,
point.
that could be
But they
points for me.
always like because they've got a game coming out this week called Storyteller. It's Switch and mobile exclusive at the moment.
Yeah, I mean they always go for one. That's how they make their
Yeah,
money. But
and then there'll be something in a few weeks that's only on PlayStation and something, and I'm like, okay, whatever, Annapurna.
so yeah, I think my main goal is just maybe get to 60 completions. I don't tend to set many like obviously like gamer score on that because I'd rather just play what I want to play as opposed to like chase after playing specific games just because they're usually completions or stuff like that. I think that's a rabbit hole you can go down, and then before you know
Yeah,
it,
I
like
don't
why
want
am
to
I
do
playing this
any
shit?
of that on Xbox this year. Like I literally just want to
No,
I want to finish the games that I start and I like enjoy, and then never go back
yeah,
to. And like you just forget. Like I'm on Game Pass right now, and I'm like I forgot that obviously all of Tim Schafer's games are on here now. Like I've always wanted to play Broken Age, and I've never played it. I've always wanted to play, actually finish Grim Fandango. And obviously
Mm.
City Skylines 2's coming. I love the City Skylines. I love the SimCity games. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get any
Oh,
of those achievements, but I can sit there and play that game. You know.
mm.
But I know
yeah,
Pegos doesn't
definitely.
agree. But there's so many games, like we said. So yes. Well, I think that concludes our an hour and 25-minute chat. Catch up. I mean, we haven't had a podcast in 2 weeks. So if you got this far, I want you to reply in the chat. Square Enix sucks. There you go. If you could just put that in there for me, that would be really good. But yes, if you like the show, we'll be back at some point. When we are, I don't know, but let us know what you're excited for on Xbox this year. Thank you for watching. We will see you soon.
Bye.